What's good, my internet friends? Today we're doing our first artist interview with my guy, Miami-based artist Alvin Surreal. We kind of talked about it all. It was a good interview. We learned about his rise, his struggle, his transition, and his growth as an artist, and his many influences and more. So I hope you enjoy this one. Hope you learned something. He definitely shared a lot of good knowledge. So enjoy the interview. How you doing today? Yeah. I can see you. I see the glowing new piece behind you.
Show.
How's it going?
It's going great, man. Just busy. I just finished this piece right here called Afro Deity, and it has to do with the African goddess. Wanted to, add some flavor to the art, to the scene, to the pieces and stuff.
What inspired it? I'm curious to hear about your process.
The process of what, like painting?
Like how you came up with this idea.
Basically, like, I wanted to do another woman tree, right? I've been doing woman trees for a while. I don't know if you can see, there's another one right here.
Yep.
And a lot of the women trees that I do, they're very surreal. Like they're mixed, they're morphed into, they're distorted, right? So this one I wanted to approach a little bit more, not realistically, because my art is never going to be super realistic. It's going to have this illustrative piece or cartoony feel to it. But I wanted to put more hair, let's say, to my women, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let me think of a bush or something. Then after the bush, I was like, well, an afro, right?
Yeah.
Because most of the women trees that I have, they're basically dead trees, because I like to create, the branches, and then maybe add a few, leaves here and there. And just like the other trees, another tree over there. Like I said, most of my trees is another tree over there. So there's mostly like those type of style. So for this one, I was like, you know what? Let me focus on her, making her a little bit more, I guess
figuratively,
right? And then put more volume and putting more life into her hair. So that's how this one came about.
That's dope. I like
so
it.
It comes spontaneously, right? You basically run into these ideas, and then you figure it out. So you're always open to ideas. You're always open to maybe manifestations, right? Making something up, inventing, coming up with the next thing. So I'm in constant, of thought provoking myself. I have to talk to my own self and, manifest these ideas, and that's how it happens.
Cool. I like that we dove right in. We're here with Alvin Surreal. Surreal is in his name, and because of that, we're going to talk about surrealism. So my first question for you is, why surrealism? Like, what drove you to becoming like a surreal artist? Were you always drawing surreal drawings early on?
Yeah, like I started drawing, right? I started drawing at 6 years old. My dad would actually help me out with the homework. We'll read a story in school. I'll tell him, hey, listen, this is what the story is about. And one day he stayed working really late. So, I was like, hey man, you got to do your homework, and I decided to, figure it out, and then literally like I just poured out the story, man. And that's when it started. When I lost this piece, I was like, whoa, So ever since I got hooked, and things happen for a reason in life, where something is missing, or something didn't happen, or something didn't go our way, and it opens up a new opportunity of good things, whether it's a bad moment or a good moment. It's always going to be, most of the time, it's positive. So I saw that, and ever since I just started working and doing art in notebooks with pen. Right? I'll do a lot of Nickelodeon, Dragon Ball, Cat Dog, Doug, a lot of.
That's a throwback.
Totally, like the Nicktoons, the 90s, right?
Yeah.
A. Arnold, like I'll just draw all that. That's basically what I'll draw most of the time. And then whenever I watch cartoons, I wouldn't really watch cartoons. I'll watch cartoons, and then I'll just study the backgrounds. I was like 9 years old, 10 years old. I was just like looking at like how are they making this cartoon spin around? Like how. So I was already kind of being interested in it, and then through middle school, I was just drawing. Um, then I started skateboarding, and then I started going into music, like rock music, blues, hip hop, different things, and then my mind started expanding, where I started my artwork went from cartoons, illustrative work, to tweaking it into strange, things, like instead of Doug with one head, he has two heads, like things like that. And when I got to high school, that's when I started experimenting, and when you start growing in it, and then that's when my surrealism started coming out, the natural surrealism of it. At that time, it was a little dark, it was twisted. It had some. I'll draw some angels and then some demons fighting, and then they were trying to, like little surreal. It'd be like a little bit supernatural. Yes, and
it's
also
like you made it without realizing you were making surrealism, like even from the two-headed Doug.
Exactly, and listening to like Jimi Hendrix, like Purple Haze, like different those type of like Led Zeppelin, those when you look at the Doors, right? The Doors that it in itself says break on through to the other side, right? So your mind starts breaking to the other side, literally, where Riders of the Storm. I would imagine Riders of the. I would just draw that whatever I thought, I would puke it out pretty much, right? So when I was 18, on my 18th birthday, we were weeks from graduating high school. And on my birthday, my art teacher, she was so awesome, man, like Miss Estevez, and she would give me hall passes so I could skip into her class, bro. I'll skip English, and dude, she could have gotten fired for that,
That's the best teacher ever.
Yeah, and I did my first mural with her. She gave me like I didn't know what I was doing, bro. I was just painting, and she gave me this book, and I still have that book. Yeah, I still have it. She gave me this book, and I got this book, and it said something about dreams, right? And then I look, and I keep looking, and it says Salvador Dali. Right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at 18 years old, and then that blew my mind, bro. Like, I don't even know if I have it somewhere.
I was gonna ask if he was one of your influences.
Give me a second, 1 second. See if I have it here real quick. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so Salvador Dali came about that time. And as you can see right here, nobody's seen this, bro. Instagram, nobody, bro,
Yeah.
So this is my old...
This is exclusive right here.
Drawings from back in the day, cartoon. You see, just random, look at this turtle, you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, wow. I like it.
Oh, because he's stuck, So I was drawing like very dorky stuff.
Yeah.
And then when I got to college, that's when I started tweaking the models. Okay. While everyone was drawing the women normal, I was tweaking them, you see?
Yeah. You weren't just doing like a regular figure.
I was cutting their stuff, I was just... some Rene Magritte.
Oh, that's cool.
And then you have the seashell, but it's also a butterfly.
Oh, okay. I like it.
So I was already kind of seeing things. So I have this Salvador Dali one that I did when I was 18. It should be here somewhere. So when I first saw that, it blew my mind. I started researching. I started studying Salvador Dali. And when I started painting with oils because of him.
Okay.
At 19, I painted with oils. It's not here. Oh, look, this is when I was 19. This is when I was 18, when I graduated high school. Look how I used to draw.
Oh, wow.
See?
It's crazy because I'm not used to seeing your like any of your work in black and white. Your work is very colorful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my work has gone, but it's gonna go on a 360 because I'm gonna be coming back to some of that. I have a lot of work where I'm gonna come back to it,
To the black and white.
Oh man! And talking about that, I have so yeah, Salvador Dali definitely influenced me a lot, and but I have it right here, somewhere here. Look, you're gonna laugh, bro.
Why?
You're gonna laugh, dude. right here. See?
Oh wow.
2018, the same year that I found out about Salvador Dali, I
Yeah.
drew him. But I drew him painting, I mean, seeing himself in the mirror, but with a skull on it. Because I saw an interview of him that said that he lived his life to the fullest. Right? He manifested, he wanted to get rich, he wanted to make a scene, be an attention seeker, right?
Yeah.
And go all out. Obviously, I'm not like that. We're very opposite, but that's, everybody has their own identity, and he was like that, the showman. Because there's always going to be one Salvador Dali, one Picasso, right?
Yeah.
One, Mahmoud, one Alvin, So, so he said that he had a terrifying fear of death, and I was
wow.
I was 18. I was like, and out of all the things he was talking about, money and everything, that is what captivated me, his fear of death. So I was 18, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then this is my banana.
But it hit you.
See this banana piece?
Split.
You know what I'm saying?
I like it. I like both of them.
Monkey with a banana, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's gonna eat him, bro. So, and then look at this one. Look at this is cartoon. It says condom, man.
Always willing to protect.
Yeah,
that's funny.
So I was just.
Your stuff had a sense of humor. Clearly, you got Nemo.
It's the clownfish, yeah.
Yeah, clownfish. Yeah, I get it.
But then sometimes I will get deep with it,
Right. Oh wow.
Like the devil telling people, hey, this is the first day of the rest of your life in hell.
Yeah.
And then the two paths, one towards death, one towards life, or one towards failure, one towards success. It depends how you see it.
Right.
See the multitudes of people, So I was like possessed from something. This is when I was 7. This is before Salvador Dali. This is what I was drawing.
Oh wow.
I was tripping out.
That looks like an acid trip.
17 years old.
That sun is the first crying face emoji.
So Mahmoud, you just saw a glimpse. Of whoever's watching this saw a little peek of how I started. That's why in high school I was the only one who was different. I would stand out a lot, And I entered a competition when I was 18, and everybody was saying, "Wow, you're gonna win first place! Wow, that piece was great." One of the judges stole my piece.
What do you mean?
The painting that I did, it wasn't a painting, it was a color pencil piece. It had to do with don't let alcohol be your last taste of life. Yeah. It was like this alcohol theme, right, where you don't drink and drive. They told me, Alvin, you won, like they picked you. We're gonna get the piece, take photos with it, blah blah blah. Nobody knew what the painting was, bro. The piece went to, bro. One of the jurors, one of the judges, someone snatched it. Yeah. And basically it was a guy who rolled out of the car with a bottle in his hand. And the car hit a stop sign, and the engine was exploding. Boom, smoke comes out, and it morphed into tombstones. And half the smoke in the tombstones poured into 2 liquor bottles going into it. And on the tombstone it said, "Don't let alcohol be your last taste of life."
It's like a vicious cycle. Yeah.
So crazy, like chaotic, and everybody was like impacted with it because it was like straight like a punch,
Yeah.
And someone stole it, and I couldn't take photographs. I couldn't win the prize. So what did they do? They gave it to some girl who made a piece in pencil. It was so.
Oh bland. Man.
No flavor, yeah, dude. Like everybody was so like disappointed, and they were trying to find out what happened. But I should have taken it. No, at that time, 2008, nobody really had phones.
Yeah, so it was like razor phones and stuff like that.
So yeah, that's basically how I started. That's the transition from illustration to surrealism.
Okay. I mean, so would you say Salvador Dali is to this day like your biggest influence?
He's one of them. Mm-hmm. Salvador Dali opened the door.
Right.
He opened the door because surrealism, it has been invented way before him. We're talking about the 1500s, 1400s painters.
Yeah.
That, like I said, they tapped into things. Every artist, they tap into something, right? People call it the universe or the creative
Yeah. The
gods,
spirit.
whatever you want. Yeah, whatever you
Yeah.
want. But I see it as the creative DNA. It's in our DNA
Yeah.
because of our we are creation, our ultimate creator, the ultimate designer. It's in our DNA to tap into certain things. Some people think, oh, I'm gonna catch something, but in reality, it's actually being poured from your soul out.
Yeah.
And so when you look at the 1500, when you look at ancient, even Christian art, when you go really back, Christian murals in the cathedrals and stuff, you see all these. Like I said again, before I even knew that, angels and demons again, right?
Yeah.
When you look at the church and stuff, and you see all those paintings, that's surreal.
Yeah.
Right. It's very surreal. So surrealism has been playing since the beginning of time.
That's true.
Yeah, and surrealism, it's also, I think we are surreal in general because just for the simple fact that we're living beings, that's surreal. You know, reality is not really real. You know, it's all surreal, right?
Is it all a matrix at the end?
Exactly.
Of the day?
Yeah. So everything's basically tweaked, and that's what my philosophy is about. Alvin Surreal and my surreal experiences that I've had. I had a lot of weird encounters in life, and that's manifested through where I'm at now. So Salvador Dali, definitely one of the big ones, right? Who triggered me, like gave me that little push.
Yeah.
And then Octavio Campo, one of the greatest Mexican surrealist illusionists. He's a magician of painting, bro. Like Salvador Dali is great with explosion and the opening of three-dimensionals.
Yeah.
Space. But this Octavio Campo you could grab a hand and he could turn it into people. You could grab a face and you could turn it into a palace. You could grab a rose, turn it into a river. I don't know. Like he knows how to play with objects and morph them, tweak them. Rob Gonsalves, he passed away, I think 2016 or something. Rob Gonsalves would have a scene morph into another scene. He had like a river, but when you look deep into the river, there were balloons or something. Like just some weird transitions that I've been studying. Also, someone who's kind of next to Salvador Dali back in the day was René Magritte, right? The guy with the apple in the head, the little hat. He was
Son
one
of
my
Man,
favorite ones.
I think is the name of that painting, Son of Man.
Yeah. So him, there's many surrealists. You know, Salvador wasn't really the main guy publicly. I guess for the world he was, because he became a showman, right?
Yeah.
He made it popular. He became like a Brito of the time, and Andy Warhol. So, but Salvador Dali he is one of my favorite ones. But there's other people that they tapped into something. For example, I think one of my top favorite ones that I'm like, I feel discouraged sometimes. You know, when someone's really good, you feel discouraged. That's how
I have somebody I could I'm gonna share with you that he's also I don't know if I would. His art is very surreal, but I don't know if he considers himself a surrealist. Greg Crayola Simpkins. If you look up his Instagram, it's at Crayola, Craola.
Sometimes they don't consider them exactly surreal, but they have that's an ingredient.
It's like birds that look like fish that are like swimming through the air. It's like, you know, different Disney characters morphed into different things. A lot of morphing of animals, a lot of morphing of like environments, and like his world. He's coined the name of his world is the outside, and it's just like an imaginative space where like all these creatures and beings and
it's basically surreal.
Yeah,
you know? But he has other elements that dance with that.
Yeah.
Right? Some of us are really more surreal. A little bit. Some people are more pop art. You know, some people are super mixed. So it's just.
Yeah, when I look at his stuff, I'm like, some days you look at it and you're like, oh, I'm really motivated to like get better. And then some days you look at it, you're like, I should just like throw away my paintbrushes because this guy is crazy.
Exactly, right? Like, I feel like that about Vladimir Kush, the Russian painter.
I'll have to look him up.
Vladimir Kush. Russian painter, shout out to Vladimir Kush, man. That guy. If I feel hopeful about my career, like okay, I'll probably have a chance.
Yeah.
It's because I have people that I look up to, like Dali, Renee, Rob, Octavio, Vladimir Kush. If you look up to these people, most likely you'll reach their level. You'll rub some of that little magic they have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Two of my best friends, and they're both my mentors. David Levitard, Levo, Kevin Vigil, Creative Facts. Right? Mm-hmm. Both of them are. I've ran into them and I've been part of their lives in such a unique way where I want what they have. Not exactly, but I'm a painter. They're a painter, so there is some sort of a desire of man, a living off it, And even though I am making a living right now, I'm at the start level. I'm at the bottom level, going to the top, And so, and looking at for example, like looking at Vladimir Kush, like gives me that hope of saying it motivates you. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It gives you like that. You know what I'm saying? Like
it moves you.
I'm gonna do my own thing and I'm gonna keep going.
I guess my on the topic of making a living, when did you transition from like doing art part-time to doing it full-time and making a living?
When I was 18, I was in and out of my house when I was 18.
Okay.
And I was just skateboarding. I had a girlfriend, had another girlfriend, and I would just sleep at their crib, and I never, I was rebellious at the time. And then I picked up on tattooing.
Really?
I tattooed for 3 years. And
really?
I tattooed, and then I got at 18. This all happened at 18. I got the tattoos, and then I got a job at TGI Fridays at the Falls, and I was a waiter for 5 years.
Wow.
And then I tattooed for 3, and I was making money. Man, at 18, 19, 20, I had bread, and I'll give my mom money, so I was never home. And
if you're making money off tattoos, you basically are earning a living off of art just from that alone. Yeah. Like, even if you never sell a painting, just tattoo money, there you go.
Very thankful for those 2 jobs because tattoos, it helped me open the door to people to trust me with their bodies, to trust my art, to be and on them, to be, and also get my line work really well. That's why some of these lines are brush made,
Yeah.
So and that came from my illustrative background because I never drew in pencil. So whenever I would draw in pencil, I felt awkward. I was like, oh, because I never erased. I was used to pen. If I made a mistake, I'll cover it with a little bird. You know what I'm saying? I'll just
a happy accident. As
there
they
you go.
say.
A happy accident. That's
we're the Bob Ross.
This is a happy accident right here. So and it helped me and then that helped me to say, okay, yeah, $100 for that for initials, $100, or and $50 for that little flower. They want a little tiny flower, all right, $50. It's like little things like that. And I remember doing a big coitus in someone's leg, and different people that I've met. And then that was the start of pushing myself. I didn't know where I was going, man.
Yeah.
Opportunities came and I took them, and it just happened. It's part of your story, in life. And the more you stick to the positive side of life, then, that you will have a better life, and in the moment you can't see it, it sucks. That's the thing about life, you can't see ahead sometimes, but you have to maneuver every day on the moment. And then at the same time, at TGI Fridays, it helped me to move cash, a lot of cash, and to introduce myself. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Alvin, and I'm going to be your waiter today,
Gave you social skills, which a lot of artists don't get.
Bro, that was tough, by the way, because I've been shy, I've been reserved, I'm very private. I don't like bugging people, I like being in my zone, right? But I've been in situations where I've been forced to be the way I am now. Talk, be outgoing, be, confident, and go all out, man. Who cares what people think, I'm just gonna do it,
Yeah.
So TGI Fridays told me, hey man, you want fries with that? Oh man, and then I will always be a great servant to them because I will give them. They will always have their napkins. They always had their straws. I was always on point. And whenever there was a complaint, my managers immediately knew that I had no fault, bro.
Yeah.
You know, but because I was very nice and shy, people would abuse you. People would be like,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm like, hey, no, it's okay, man. You know, like people would take advantage, and I learned that too in TGI Fridays because I worked for 5 years. You meet thousands and thousands of people every day. You know what I mean?
Damn,
And
TGI Fridays really taught you about life when you think
bro,
about
it
it.
really did, bro. Yeah. And I remember, had a really bad night, and I went through a breakup. I was going through like a breakup, and I was going through so much, and one of my managers came up to my face, started screaming at me, bro, because someone took a plate and they walked out, and the thing is that wasn't even my. A waiter took my plate, basically took the wrong plate.
Oh.
You know? So I got yelled at, and I told her, look, man, I know you don't know, but this thing right here, waiting, bro, this is not my destiny. This is not my passion. This is not where I was not made to be a waiter, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I told her that, and I walked out, bro. I did not even get my tips that day. I told everyone, like, screw you, dude. You know?
Yeah, it was
I
over.
I walked out of TGI Fridays, man. And they called me, they were blowing on my phone, the manager blowing on my phone. And I just never, you know, I went back years later with, you know, on dates and stuff with a girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
But and then right after, I started right after in 2011, 2012, I signed up for art school, fashion school, at MIU next to the downtown.
Fashion school. That's interesting.
Yeah, I went to fashion school, the art school, and I went into animation. See, I still had that animation dragging behind me.
Yeah.
You know? I wanted to maybe be sitting in the office, create art, drawings or backgrounds for Disney or something. I really wanted to.
Yeah.
I wanted to go out and just go to California, man. You know, or something. And then I showed my portfolio to who became one. He became my oldest friend of age, which was my professor, Louis Ullman. He was the figure drawing teacher. You know, he would do a lot of Renaissance style, like Rembrandt and all those antique, like very beautiful, stylized oil paintings that he taught us. And he, when I was literally heading towards animation to have my first class, and he was just standing there, and for some reason he just approached and said, "Hey man, what do you have there?" I was like, "Oh, it's my portfolio.
Yeah.
I want to be an animator." He's like, "Let me see." And he looked. He's like, bro, he's like 70 at that time, 75, bro.
Yeah.
Like, guy, bro. And he goes through my artwork. And he's like, "But you signed all of them. You're a fine artist. You know, you're an illustrator, but you have a nice signature. You have good composition. You're a fine artist.
Yeah.
You'll do well as a painter, as an artist, man." And I was like, and I didn't go to animation class. Bro. I went back to the consulate or whatever that person was, and they switched me. They put me to visual arts.
Wow.
So I went into visual arts the same day. I came one day late for visual arts. I was like a new, and that's when I started painting. I quit my job, TGI Fridays.
This was the same time as leaving TGI Fridays.
My mom is like, "Listen, I'll help you out. Just go to school, do good, blah, blah, blah." I was like, for sure, you know? That's what I did. I was like, you know what? I'm going to be focused. And I didn't go out with friends. I started getting A's, yo, you know? And I've been a bad student all my life. I never did good in school. I had really bad grades because I always drew.
Yeah.
You know, I was always very different. The fact of a public school to me was weird. You know, I could see, like I told you, I could see beyond things, and I was just like, "Why am I here? Why is this person telling me that I come from monkeys, evolution?" Like they're literally preaching my DNA. You know that they preach in the spaces.
Yeah.
You know, they you know, they talk about slavery, but they sweep it under the rug. You know,
yeah.
They talk about the genocide of indigenous people. They sweep it under the rug again. So I was like, huh? It's a doctrine, public schools of the United States of America. It's a doctrine. You know, they're brainwashing children. So I was always like very weird about it. I didn't know at that moment, but after the fact, I'm like, whoa, like, bro, these people were like all preachers. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. You know, not all of them, but I'm talking about when you go into science and philosophy and English and stuff, and history. And history, they never teach you the whole history. That's really weird too. But whatever. And so I went, and then a year later, 2014, I did a PowerPoint on Burrito. I forgot the other guy's name. And then Lebo, right in front of the class. I was like, yeah, this is Lebo. Lebo, David Lebatard. I saw him at the Bayside. He had a mural. I was eating by myself during class break. I was just eating by myself, drawing. Didn't have much friends at the beginning of art school. Anyways, I like being on my own. Even though I'm very friendly, I make friends all the time. Sometimes, you just want to be on your own. So I see the mural of Lebo, and then I was like, okay, Google. Lebo, okay, Miami-based artist. Oh, all right, because they were supposed to be Miami-based.
Yeah.
So I did a PowerPoint on Lebo, and this is the beautiful thing about things, about life. Sometimes you have to manifest it. Sometimes you have to be careful what you speak into the air. That's what you have. You should be speaking good things, positive things.
Right.
If you say a lot of hateful things, only a lot of negativity, that will backfire. A lot of people don't know that they're and it backfires on them, and that's why you need to, even in art and things, you have to be able to manifest good things. So I was talking about Lebo. I'm like, man, Lebo's. I could relate to Lebo because it's illustrative.
Yeah.
It was a little abstract, but blah blah blah. And all of a sudden, I did the PowerPoint, and the same week I went on Facebook and I looked him up, and he had a Facebook page, Lebo. Click on it. And then he did a competition called, hey guys, whoever titles this painting the best, I'm going to use the title, and you have an invitation to my workshop this Sunday.
Wow.
That was on a Friday, bro. So I was like, he had like this abstract thing, and then he had like some white things coming up like this. So I called it something Holy Ghost, or manifestation of Holy Ghosts. Something with Holy Ghost, because they were like white little Caspers. They were coming up. Yeah. So I said something like that, and he sent me a message saying, hey, bro, I love that title.
Wow.
I have an invitation. You see how things just open up for you like that?
Yeah,
an invitation this Sunday, Miami Beach at New Era. It's like a hat store.
The hat store, yeah.
New Era, Miami Beach, at my workshop on the second floor. I was like, oh my God, dude, I'll be there. I wish I had that screenshot. I don't know. Whatever. And so I come in, and he's talking to this chick. I see him. He's tall. He's talking to this. He's like your height, bro.
Okay.
I'll make that short, And then
made that short.
He's talking to this girl who ends up being his wife. Turns out to be his wife. They met the same day, I think. They met the same day. The same day we met, we all met together.
Look at that.
Yeah, that ended up being his wife, Brenna, and I kind of go outside, waiting for the time to go out, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to go back in, So I want to go out. Everybody's already upstairs. So I come in, I sit down, and then Dave says, hey, Alvin, what's going on, man? He already knew. I was like, whoa, you already know my name? Like, he remembered. Because I would draw, and I think he peeked at my stuff.
Right.
Remember, I've been posting art, bro, since I was 18, bro.
Right.
I still post. It's 2020. I still posting art.
Yeah.
And he I still have the drawing, and he was just teaching us how to draw with Sharpies, just simple ideas of manifestation. And when he ended, I went up to him and I was like, hey man, it was a pleasure meeting you, and I hope this is not the last time I meet you, man. Like I hope we see each other again, man. He said, man, definitely we're gonna see each other again, something like that. Whatever. Things, and then he hit me up the end of that year. Right? That was like in the summer. The end of that year, December 1st of 2014, I had my first show in Sheer Walls with him, bro.
Wow.
Or Basel, man. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I had 12 mini paintings, and I sold all of them.
Wow.
And I made like 1,200.
I mean, hey, that's, yeah.
My mom came. It was like a big deal. This is before Instagram. Did I say this is when Instagram started?
Probably, yeah.
This is when Instagram started. So there was no waves. There were no crowds,
Yeah.
And I remember I was very overwhelmed with joy that night. I was like, oh man, I thank you God, I was very thankful. And I was like, oh. And then ever since 2015 came, I graduated from art school with a bachelor's. The day I graduated, the next day, I had to go sleep over at Lebo's assistant's house because
Okay.
that other day I was at Ultra Music Festival, assisting Lebo with his materials and setting up and selling his shirts and stuff. You know, so
Wow.
I was literally graduating from everybody's like, yeah, I want to be successful, and I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. You know, I don't know. I don't have a job. I don't know what's gonna happen. And I was literally at Ultra Music Festival the next day, bro. After
That's
my graduation.
amazing.
Yeah, and then I was just at Music Festival. Dave on Sunday, Friday, great, boom, 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 music, bro. Dave was coming, hey, checking everyone, and I was just hustling because when he's present, I'm hustling.
Yeah.
And then whatever. Sunday came, and Dave did not show up Sunday, and everybody's wilding out, bro. I was wilding out, man. We were kind of like, I got a little in trouble, for wilding out, but whatever. I was young, you know what I'm saying?
You're young, man.
Whatever. Before that, Dave calls his assistant and says, "Hey, is Alvin there?" He's like, "Yeah, okay. Tell him to go on stage because I can't show up today. Tell him that my book bag is on the table and there's a canvas right there."
Go on stage.
His book bag had the painting and the paint and the brushes. And then John, his assistant, is like, "Hey, Alvin, you have to go up." I was like,
"It's a live paint."
Yeah, live paint. There was thousands of people, bro. I mean, hundreds. I don't know how much people were there.
Still, bro, if 50 people were in there, I'd be like, what?
Bro. So that was my first, basically, live art.
Music.
That was my first time live painting. Actually, no, it wasn't. But in front of a crowd, yes. Because in 2014, when I met Lebo, remember, before I had my show, 2014, I came out in Telemundo. I painted a 13-foot guitar. Huge. And David gave it to me because I was brand new and because they were paying little money.
Yeah.
And David's makes the big bread,
Right,
so
right.
Me, I thought $1,500. It's good. It's good money for me,
Yeah, yeah.
I think for anybody, but
for anybody,
high level, obviously, So whatever. So that's when I transitioned into making a living. Was working with Dave, and Dave will give me Bacardi contracts. I will go and work basically for free, and David will always give me money, And that's when I started kind of pushing my art in a little bit. And then I ran into painting with a twist, and I became an art instructor right after for 2 years.
Oh, I did that. We did, my wife and I did that for we went there for date night a year ago. That's
it's
funny.
Great.
It was fun. It was fun.
It's great. Yeah, and so I went in and I got a good interview. They're like, "Hey man, we like your personality. We like the way you talk, and you have good skills. I think you have a lot of potential here. We're gonna make you. We want to train you." And they sent me to New Orleans, bro. I went to New Orleans. Yeah, and I went to New Orleans, and I went to the main place that they teach you how to become a really good instructor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And they're all very I'm not that outgoing, bro. They're some people are very bubbly. I'm not bubbly.
Yeah.
They're like, "Hey guy," they're super bubbly. The girls especially, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, whatever. I learned. I went to New Orleans. I ate gator for the first time.
Right.
And so when I came back, whatever, I was balancing that, selling paintings. That's when I started selling paintings, going to instruction, and teaching classes for 2 years. And then I wasn't showing up to work sometimes. I'll give my schedule away to the other artists.
Yeah.
And my manager's like, "Hey, Alvin, dude, what are you doing?" I was traveling, bro. I went to New York. I started, leaving. I was with Lebo at Bacardi events. I was making $1,000 a night, and then here I am. This girl's yelling at me because I didn't pour the paint right. You know what I'm saying?
I'm on tour with Lebo. Sorry.
So I am very patient, and as patient as I am, I'm very impatient.
Right.
If I really like something, I really could hate it as well. I'm never in the middle. I'm not in the middle person.
I think that's most artists, or we have addictive personalities, where when you get into something, you're all in, or nothing.
Yeah, that makes you entrepreneur success. If you're
True.
a person, It could lead you to success.
Right.
And because if you're not sure of things, you will always be stuck. That's the
Yeah.
problem. Either you do it or you don't. Either you get married or you don't. You're married man, right?
Yeah.
Either you go for it or you don't go for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's decisions we make which makes life good. It makes life good.
Yeah.
And so whatever, ever since, and then whatever, they let me go, and then I just kept hustling, man, painting, struggling, and then I was making really good money. That's when I started painting restaurants, stuff like that, and until this day, thank God, I'm doing better. Even though the pandemic happened, it's been slow, but it's picked up. So, and it's also a necessary break that I needed personally from the world. I needed a little space, and so that's my huge transition, bro, from literally TGI Fridays tattoos with Lebo into being independent right now,
And I'm guessing along that journey, you kind of like built up a community of collectors, it seems.
Yeah, there's a few. There's a handful, just a handful. But there's a handful that always come back.
Got it.
Yeah, they have a whole collection, and
they collect
that.
Alvin paintings like Pokemon cards.
Yeah, but not only that, my work has transitioned so much that the ones that are new right now, they're the ones that are staying. Because my work is consistent right now.
Yeah,
and it's very vibrant, contrasty, and I have a shout out to Gary Caruso. I met him at Deerfield. I got invited to paint at Deerfield Beach, and by chance he was just walking by with his beard, walking by. He just looks at my piece. He's like, "Hey, man, I like that." He said, "He's like, I wasn't even supposed to walk by here, but I just passed by here, and I love that." And he bought my painting. There's a surreal fish eye.
Yeah.
And that was his first painting, and then I don't know how they did it. I guess I signed the back, or I gave him something. He took a picture of my Instagram, or something happened. That his wife made an Instagram just to go find me, bro.
Wow.
And then Facebook. Now we're Facebook friends with his family and stuff. Now he owns 10 paintings of mine.
That's crazy.
That was 2000. That was last year. I met him last year. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I met him last year before the summer. Before last summer. Yeah, around March. I met him around March, and he has 10 paintings of mine, and he has 3 that are top-notch semi-masterpieces that I sold for very cheap, man. $400 each, and because those type of paintings will be worth thousands in the near future. But it is what it is. It's a stepping stone.
It is, yeah. Every year you level up. Every year, you raise rates. Yeah, you become better at you become faster. So it's like, even if you're selling it for this much, you're like, well, it took me way less time than it would have last year.
Exactly.
So it's like, it's a constant progression. I guess I really only have one last question for you, and that's, what advice do you have for maybe young artists that dream of making a living off their work one day?
My advice is if you're young, and I'm gonna talk to the young, and even if you're old, it doesn't matter. But
talk to the old timers too.
Yeah, I think anybody who wants to pursue it, right?
Yeah.
But mostly to the young. It's gonna go straight mostly for the young, but it will pour out to the older crowd too.
Mm-hmm.
Is don't do it just to make a living. That should not be the goal, right? The goal should not be lost in money. It should not be lost in that, because if I was stuck in an island, I would do art, bro.
Same.
If the world was ending, bro, like, there's literally no galleries. There's no Instagram. The internet went off, and everybody's paralyzed.
Yeah.
I'll go and draw. You know what I'm saying? Because this is who I am. So my identity, my lifestyle, my being, my essence, Salvador Dali essence, Andy Warhol essence, Picasso's essence. These guys, if you look how they're worth, why did they work so much? Why? Because they never worked. That's their lifestyle.
It was fun.
You're never gonna say to someone, "Why do you shower so much, bro?" That's a part of life. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So nobody tells me, "Alvin, you paint to no." In fact, that's who I do. That's what I do. People know me by that.
Yeah.
And so once you get that in your brain of, dude, I'm gonna do what I want, and I'm gonna do it at my best ability because I want to. that is when you open the door to this new door of saying opportunities, this and that, and you'll never get lost. You start flowing money, you start, having good things and a lot of opportunities and maybe a little popularity, and you'll never get to your head because what you established, right?
Right.
And but if your goal is money, you're definitely, when there's no money, you're going to be brought down really hard. And when the crowd is what moves you, the crowd, when the crowd is not there to support you, your fall's going to be really hard. So to make a living, purposely, I want to make a living, that's your goal. When you don't make a living, you're going to be depressed. So that should never be the goal. The goal should be, I'm going to do art because for the sake of it, even if you have a part-time job, but just for the sake of it. And if it happens, it starts elevating itself, and then you leave that job, and that's when you start flying. The fact is, I started early. I went for it, man. I went for it, and I've been through a lot of things. A lot of weird, death experiences, a lot of tragedy in my life. But that gives me also the strength to keep going. So it always comes back to the art. It comes back to doing it for the right reasons, and then everything falls into place once you do that. That's really it. You have to do it for yourself, and then people will like it, and then it goes for them. And I think one last advice would probably be, don't be attached to the artwork. I think that's a big one.
Yeah, like people who just hold on to it.
You know what I'm saying? When you come up, some paintings are like, I have some paintings that I'm never gonna let go. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it took me. I have worked very hard for that, and I'm not going to spend $300. Let go of your art, it makes people happy. Great, give it to them. Make another one, make a better one. You're always going to make a better painting.
Yeah.
Everything's materialism. A lot of things are going to stay behind. We're all passing by. We're all time travelers. I call myself, basically, this is me, Alvin Surreal, and then my slogan is the outer space being. So I am Alvin Surreal, the outer space being. So if I had a book, it would be called Alvin Surreal, the outer space being. Because I'm an outsider. I am an alien. I'm an ET. Right? I am not from this world. I'm passing by. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm passing by. You could all have my paintings because I'm not going to take them with me in the other place. So a lot of people are so attached to materialism and things, where you just have to let go and just go out there and flow, man. Just be, and you'll see that the weight of the world, all the weight, you're like a feather, man. You just flow faster,
Yeah.
That is my recommendation and advice for people who are watching. That just be, man. Let go and be. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I guess last thing, where can people find you online?
You can find me 2 places. Alvin Surreal on Facebook. I have a Alvin Surreal Facebook page. Alvin Hernandez with an H, Hernandez on Facebook as well. You'll probably see me with a painting somewhere,
Yeah.
Feel free to add me. We could be friends. Or Instagram at Alvin Surreal. Instagram at Alvin Surreal. You'll see my artwork. Send me a message. You guys somehow see this video on YouTube or wherever the platform is, and send me a message. We could talk. I'll give you advice. Sometimes I go live and I give advice about art materials because I never knew about art materials. Yeah. And now that I know about art materials, bro, I tell people like, hey, this is the best place to get. You should use this or you should use that. And it helps. It helps people. Yeah.
And I'll put all of the links to where people can find you in the description also.
Cool, man.
But yeah, I think it was a fun interview, man. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you and for inviting me.
Of course. All right, bro.
We'll meet up soon, man. We'll have an art session. You know what I'm saying?
We should. We really should.
Yeah, we'll paint, bro. We should go live and paint next time.
We should.
Yeah,
let's make that happen.
Yeah. All right, bro.
All right, bro.
All right, peace. Man. Blessings.
So you made it all the way through. You think that makes you special? Huh? Just kidding. Thank you if you made it this far. I'm glad you watched the whole interview. I hope you enjoyed the whole interview. And yeah, hopefully we do some more interviews. This is new for the channel. And lastly, thank you to all the patrons. Until next time. Peace.